Imagine being summoned to the ultra-luxurious, heavily fortified Hamptons estate of one of the most powerful tech billionaires in the world, who is undergoing a catastrophic psychological crisis that threatens global stability, only to cross paths with a horrifying, hidden crime that forces you to choose between the absolute lethal justice you were trained to deliver and a desperate, heartbreaking promise of absolute mercy. This is the exact moral minefield facing Evan Smoke, the legendary former government assassin trained from childhood as part of the secret orphan program in Gregg Hurwitz's explosive, masterfully written 11th psychological thriller, Antihero. Operating underground as the elusive nowhere man to help the desperate who have absolutely nowhere else to turn, Evan's latest high-stakes mission splits wide open when he learns of Anca Dumitrescu, a vulnerable 25-year-old social services director who was brutally abducted off a New York City subway during a medical emergency, violently assaulted, and discarded like trash by a sadistic crew of internet predators known as the White On Posse. Teaming up with his brilliant 17-year-old hacker protege, Joey Morales, Evan uses the tech billionaire's massive, godlike AI surveillance network to hunt down the predators across the country, treating the vile pornography ring's digital footprint like an encrypted hard drive waiting to be cracked. Yet battling tech-savvy monsters is the least of Evan's worries. When he finally locates and rescues the traumatized Anca, she extracts a devastating, almost impossible promise from him. She demands justice, but strictly forbids him from killing her tormentors, forcing a man who operates solely on lethal instincts to completely reinvent his tactical playbook. The narrative moves at an absolute breakneck, adrenaline-fueled pace, throwing listeners headfirst into a relentless gauntlet of visceral hand-to-hand combat, devastating malware operations, and intense psychological warfare that spans from elite billionaire playgrounds to the poorest, darkest corners of the inner city. As the modern predators begin to realize the apex predator of the Black Ops world is closing in on them, the emotional and physical tension tightens like a noose, leaving Evan dangerously vulnerable and off balance as he tries to dismantle the syndicate without using a gun or a blade. Rich with Hurwitz's signature razor-sharp dialogue, deep character evolution, and a profoundly moving look at what it truly means to be human, this audiobook hooks you by the throat from the very first line and refuses to let go. Listeners will find themselves utterly consumed by the psychological cat-and-mouse game and the sheer weight of Evan's moral dilemma, checking their own locks and scanning the shadows as the nowhere man races against a ticking clock to download the truth before his own soul is permanently deleted.